Christie Sides, the head coach of the Fever, she should be fired. They've turned this Caitlin Clark to the WNBA into the Fire Festival 2.0, and there has to be a firing squad for this level of...
After her Indiana Fever team blew a 10-point lead, Christie is facing criticism once more, sparking a contentious debate regarding her coaching decisions. After the Fever's 98-88 loss to the Minnesota Twins, Caitlin Clark accomplished an amazing feat. She broke the record for the most games in a season with at least 25 points, 5 assists, and 5 three-pointers.
Predominantly black woman roster, that's a match made in hell. I think they got to have a black male coach. They got to find a Mark Jackson, someone like that, to coach that team. He can go in there and tell them black, hey, look, this is the way we're playing. We got Caitlin Clark here. This is what we got to do. Call me racist all you want. Call me sexist, whatever. But we're going to call me an Uncle Tom. I don't care. We're going to play through.
In the world of professional sports, leadership is constantly scrutinized, especially when a team faces challenging moments. For the Indiana Fever, head coach Christie Sides finds herself in the center of a growing debate over her coaching style and decision-making.
To be fired, the head of the WNBA, Christie Sides, the head coach of the Fever, she should be fired. Lynn Dunn, the general manager of the Fever, she should be fired. And the water boy, Bobby Boucher, or whoever the water boy, fire them all. They've turned this Caitlin Clark to the WNBA into the Fire Festival 2.0, and there has to be a firing squad for this level of incompetence.
With a team boasting 3 All-Stars, Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, and Aaliyah Boston, the Fever are expected to perform at the highest level. Yet, despite some high points this season, frustrations are boiling over, especially after a disappointing game against the Minnesota Lynx. One of the primary criticisms from fans after the Fever's recent loss to the Lynx is Sides' decision not to challenge a controversial foul call on Lexi Hull. The call negated an incredible block by Hull, one that could have been a game-changer. Fans were left asking, why didn't Sides challenge the call? The play was clearly clean, and in a game as tight as this, every moment counts. The decision not to take advantage of a potential momentum swing has raised questions about Sides' situational awareness during critical moments. This isn't the first time Sides has been criticized for in-game decisions. Whether it's her management of player rotations or her hesitancy to call timeouts when the opposition gains momentum, fans and analysts alike are beginning to voice concerns. For a team with the talent the Fever possess, these lapses in decision-making are becoming harder to overlook. Caitlin Clark, the electrifying all-star guard, has been one of the few bright spots for the Fever this season. Her fiery competitive spirit is undeniable, drawing comparisons to WNBA legend Diana Taurasi. However, there's a fine line between passion and losing control, and Clark has occasionally found herself towing that line. In the game against the Lynx, Clark's frustrations boiled over after she felt she was fouled without a call. She stayed on the ground, visibly upset, while the Lynx capitalized on the other end, increasing their lead to 10 points. Christie Sides has acknowledged Clark's passionate nature, but recognizes the need for her star player to keep her composure in high-stakes moments. We've been working on trying to figure out how to get past those moments, Sides said after the game. Clark is so competitive, but we need her to stay focused, especially when the game is on the line. Thankfully, Clark avoided a technical foul during this moment of frustration, but her ability to control her emotions will be a crucial factor as the Fever head toward the playoffs. Clark herself admitted after the game that she could have handled the situation better. "I think I could have done a better job controlling my emotions," she said. Despite this, Clark continues to impress with her all-around game, finishing the night with 25 points, 8 assists, and 8 rebounds. Her leadership on the court is unquestionable, but some fans wondered if Sides is doing enough to support her star player, especially when it comes to working the referees and advocating for Clark during crucial moments. Another point of concern for the Fever this season has been the mysterious decline of Nalisa Smith. After an impressive performance last year, Smith's presence has seemingly faded, and fans are left wondering what happened to the player who was expected to be a key contributor alongside Clark, Mitchell, and Boston. In a league where having multiple stars is often the key to success, Smith's diminished role is alarming. Christie Sides has yet to offer a clear explanation for Smith's reduced impact, leading some to speculate whether it's a coaching issue or something more personal. Whatever the reason, the Fever needs Smith to regain her form if they hope to make a deep playoff run. With the trio of Clark, Mitchell, and Boston clicking, adding a revitalized Smith to the mix could be the game changer the team desperately needs. As the Fever approach the playoffs, the scrutiny on Christie Sides is intensifying. While she was recently named Coach of the Month, marking a significant achievement for a team that has struggled for years, not everyone is convinced that she is the right leader to take the team to the next level. Some fans are even beginning to call her the worst coach in WNBA history, a harsh assessment, but one that underscores the growing dissatisfaction with her leadership. One of the primary issues appears to be Sides' handling of player effort and energy. After a particularly tough loss earlier in the season, Sides remarked that effort isn't something that can be coached. "You can't play in this league if you have to coach effort," she said, expressing her frustration over the team's lack of energy and focus during critical moments. It's a damning statement that shifts some of the blame onto the players, but it also raises questions about her ability to motivate and inspire her team when it matters most. Transition defense has been a recurring issue for the Fever this season. In their game against the Lynx, the Fever gave up 45 points in the first 15 minutes of play, with a significant portion coming from transition opportunities. Sides was visibly frustrated after the game, emphasizing that transition defense is something the team works on every day. "It was number one on our board before the game," she said. "We can't allow that to happen." While it's clear that the players share some of the blame for their defensive lapses, fans are beginning to question whether the coaching staff is adequately preparing the team for these situations. Transition defense requires coordination and communication, something that the Fever seem to be lacking in critical moments. If the team doesn't shore up their defense, particularly against fast-paced teams like the Lynx, their playoff run could be short-lived. Despite the growing concerns, the Fever have made the playoffs for the first time since the Obama administration, an achievement that should not be overlooked. Christie Sides deserves credit for rallying her team after a rough 1-8 start to the season, but the question remains, is she the coach who can lead them to a championship? With a roster that features 3 All-Stars and rising talents, expectations are high, and anything short of a deep playoff run will be seen as a disappointment. Sides' ability to build strong relationships with her players has been one of her strengths as a coach. Players like Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell have praised Sides for her open communication and supportive leadership style. Clark, in particular, has spoken about how much she enjoys playing for Sides, noting that her coach's energy and passion for the game are contagious. "She wants it more than anyone," Clark said. "I feel like I'm playing through her energy." However, strong relationships alone won't be enough to secure a championship. Sides will need to address the team's defensive issues, improve her in-game decision-making, and find a way to keep her players motivated and focused throughout the playoff grind. The Fever have the talent to compete with the best teams in the league, but it's up to Sides to bring out the best in them when it matters most. As the Fever head into the playoffs, the pressure on Christie Sides has never been greater. While she has shown flashes of brilliance as a coach, the inconsistencies in her decision-making, coupled with the team's defensive struggles and occasional lack of effort, have left many fans questioning whether she's the right person to lead the team to a championship. For now, Sides remains at the helm, and her ability to rally the Fever after a rough start to the season is commendable. But if the team continues to falter in crucial moments, the calls for a change in leadership will only grow louder. Whether or not Sides can rise to the occasion remains to be seen, but one thing is clear: the Indiana Fever's future hangs in the balance, and it's up to Christie Sides to prove that she's the coach who can guide them to greatness.